Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is the post-race press conference for the 250 Supercross Daytona 2022. Congratulations, Jet Lawrence, Styles Robertson, and Cameron McAdoo, your podium. Jet, Daytona's a big one. A lot of attention. You can kind of feel it all week long. And for you, there's races you want to win. You'd love to race them all. But how special is it for you to win this one? And with all the hype around it and the attention that it gets and the history that it has, to win this one, what's it feel like?
It's just a cool experience. I think even without winning it first time here, I think it's just a great experience just to have of the fans being there. Like, you almost feel like it feels as close as we can get to feeling like a NASCAR race almost. I mean, it's in the same area as it. Might not be going as fast, but I mean, it's definitely damn close. So it was a really cool experience. I mean, always as a kid, I can say I've been dreaming of at least just riding Daytona track. And I think today just really topped it off with a win, so I'm pretty pumped.
If you were to put a rating 1 through 10 on your burnout attempt after, what number would you give it?
I'd give it a 3. It was terrible. I almost snapped some guy's femur through the gate. I thought it was a lot. I thought it was a lot more solid, but I went into it and the thing went moved back a couple feet. I'm like, ooh.
Quite a few attempts too, right? Kept trying to get it.
Yeah, I need to work on those if I ever
work
do
on those.
All right.
One. Well, congratulations, Jason Wygant. I'll start with you.
I'll go to Cameron McAdoo, Jason from Racer X. McAdoo, when I saw you on the podium, man, you were struggling. When did this injury come from, and do you even know what the situation is? And then how did you get third with that?
Yeah, it actually came from the heat race. I had like a slight little mishap coming underneath the tunnel. I was going inside double-double, and my knee kind of bent super wrong, and then I lost my pegs. And then after it already had tweaked backwards, my foot peg came up underneath my knee brace cup and dug into my bottom of my knee. So at first I was super concerned. After the heat race, I was super unsure. I've just had a knee injury last summer, so it was kind of feeling a little unstable. I was pretty nervous. I had Dr. G come over and help me out with it. He taped it up a whole bunch, but it obviously swelled up a ton immediately. But I think it's pretty much just from getting smashed once I got it moving around on a spin bike a little bit. And honestly, I was super unsure what it was going to be like. So that's why I kind of, on the sight lap, I went out and actually rode the sight lap and hit the jumps. So it's strong. I don't think it's anything that's going to be affect me long term. I think it's a lot of swelling that we're going to have to get out of it this week. But I think everything's intact still. So that's a big relief.
Jamie, Moto X Pod.
Cam, you and RJ had some hellacious battles, heat race and main event. I don't think any of us in the media could say this year that the Daytona track disappointed or was difficult to pass on. Just talk about the track conditions, the racing. I mean, obviously you wanted to win, but insane battles tonight. Great racing.
Yeah, RJ and I were right by each other, both the heat race and the main. And once I got up to those guys, I had a really bad start. But once I got up to those guys, it was just the track was so back and forth, like the way it would, it came back across itself almost. And it was gnarly. Like I was saying, you kind of jump into each other a little bit, but yeah, we were battling really hard, and I would cut back under and I'd get up next to him, and then he was up the inside of that next turn. It was just, it was a lot of right, left. So it made for great battles. I mean, as a rider, it was a little stressful, and it was sketchy kind of to battle that hard at that high of speed, but it was great racing. We diced it up pretty hard for probably 6 laps at least. It was a big fight.
Yeah, put on a show for us. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from Racer X. We're going to go to Styles here on this one. So you kind of mentioned some of the off-season injuries you had, coming to this venue where you had a good ride last year. Were you kind of thinking, I can have the good, you expected to do well, or were you kind of only realizing that it was possible again, overcoming the injuries when you're out there, then you whole shot, and then you're running second, and you're like, okay, I can do this because you are doing it. Can you talk about that a little bit and everything?
Yeah, I don't know. Our Daytona prep was pretty good. We had a good track, and I felt good. So obviously coming in off the podium last year, I felt pretty good. But Yeah, like you said, the injuries have been hindering me a little bit, but yeah, honestly, I just felt good all day. Bike was good, and I don't know, something about a paddle. I love a paddle tire, and yeah, just the starts have been helping me a lot too. And I think I just got a good start and try to tuck in behind Jet, and you know, the podium last year obviously gave me some confidence. So yeah, I guess I'll like Daytona for a while now.
And is there going to be anything you're going to try and do a little bit differently maybe this year so you can, kind of replicate that as the season progresses?
Yeah, I think my setup is a little softer. Honestly, I haven't tested one time this year just from being injured. So I think this week we're going to try some stiffer settings and hopefully can do it in a normal Supercross. Obviously, Daytona is Supercross, but I want to do it at a normal track and back it up. But yeah, just try to keep it going.
Awesome. Congrats on the ride.
Thank you.
Nick, Moto Limited.
Thanks, DB. Nick Stillmoto Limited. Yeah, let's go back to Cameron McAdoo. McAdoo, you sort of alluded on the podium that the whole day was a bit off for you. Were you just not feeling it today? Was things not really working out with the bike setting? That seemed to happen before the injury. Was it just an off day, mate, or how was the day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I would want to say it was like the bike, because last year I came here with pretty much the same bike as I'd been riding all season, and that's what we did this year again for the most part. I don't know. I was really struggling with comfort. There was a lot of different lines going on that was like each practice, like an inside would be faster. We'd watch film, and then I would like kind of go for that line. But then that time it was the outside was faster. So like I wasn't really just, I guess, trusting my instincts is kind of what I would say. Like I was going off of what the last practice was faster, and then the track was changing, and there was a couple rhythms that I wasn't super comfortable with in practice. Honestly, the rhythm after the finish line, I never jumped that triple over that big one in practice once. Like I watched film in the last practice and I was like, yep, in this heat race, I'm going to need to jump that the first time because I have to jump it to have success tonight. So like just little stuff like that I was kind of struggling with, and it was getting pretty frustrating. And then I had a fairly frustrating heat race. So it was really important to be able to lock in and fight hard to be here talking to you guys.
Appreciate your honesty. Thanks, mate.
Brad Gephardt.
Thanks, Stevie. Brad from Big MX Radio. Let's go, Jet Lawrence. Jet, pretty quiet main event for you. You got a decent lead. Tell us a little bit about navigating yourself through some lap traffic, as well as being able to like select your favorite line all the way around.
It definitely made a lot easier. Definitely made my life definitely a lot easier for easier night. And I mean, Styles was there for a very long time. I mean, it felt like it was for more than 10 minutes because I could see him out of the corner of my eyes at each U-turn. So I knew he was there, and it was good because it was keeping me focused. And those lappers, I mean, it was a tight, like especially on that far other side, the more tighter sections, it was a lot harder to get around them because we were using a lot of all the track just because it was so tight. And like what Cameron said, like you'd cut out early, and then they would be in the main line, but then you're on the outside the next time. So I kind of got a little bit screwed a couple of times, got stuck behind some lappers, but most of the time they were pretty okay and got out of the way. Otherwise I would start yelling at them. But it was definitely a nice, calm weekend. A lot better than last weekend. At least I can go to sleep easier tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like a totally different day for you. Congrats, Matt.
Cheers.
Chip.
Revista Moto.
Hey, thank you, Daniel. Hey, Styles, can you talk a little bit about your ability to come back from such what appears to be from the outside, a serious injury? You referenced the pelvic injury. How do you, it seems that's an incredibly critical, it could be a career-ending injury. How did you come back, and are you surprised, and are you shocked that you are where you are today?
Yeah, 100%. If you would have heard my phone call to my parents after I found out that I broke my pelvis, I would have never thought that I was even racing the first couple rounds. But I was in a hyperbaric chamber every day, and just red light therapy and just everything I could do to get better. And then I think it was like a week and a half before the race, I was just doing starts, and like couldn't even get the rut too gnarly because it just beat up and hit me in my pelvis. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, obviously it was my fault. Tried to dumb line at him at Supercross, and yeah, I mean, it sucked coming in, and I wouldn't have thought this, but I have a good crew behind me, and they've been keeping me in a good headspace, and yeah, just honestly having a lot of fun right now.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan with Cycle News.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, this one's for Jet. I had a crazy weekend last weekend. Are you feeling the effects of any of that crash this week?
No, I definitely I got very lucky with that crash. I landed in some soft stuff. I mean, I hit my chest pretty hard at that point, but it was more like it hurt after 2 laps after the crash, and then I mean, I felt it a little bit later that night. Next day I was a little sore, but I mean, all this week I've been perfectly fine. I mean, breathing wise been okay, and didn't really get too affected, to be honest. I mean, my riding, didn't really put a dent in that. I mean, riding's been feeling really good. Bike's been feeling very forgiving and wanting to go fast, which is always nice, and felt safe on the bike. So I don't think it really affected me much last weekend from this weekend.
Nice. And what do you do to like put that all behind you and just go out? Like you led every lap this weekend. What do you do to put that behind you and just go out and crush it this weekend?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to put away, you could say, but I mean, you just have to be, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be the big man and just kind of put that behind, and people who keep bringing it up, just get over it. I mean, it's last weekend, so we're on to this weekend. It's Daytona, so yeah.
Right on. Great ride, bud.
Thanks.
Trent, Moto Limited.
Thanks, DB. Trent Moto Limited. I'll go back to Stalls. Stalls, again, you running up front there, sort of hanging with Jet at the first part of that. I mean, that must have felt pretty good. Are you looking forward to Atlanta, which is another, obviously, speedway track, which is a little bit more open? I know you want to do it inside, but do you have that one on the list now that you've kind of done well at Daytona twice?
Yeah, hopefully we can, go to that speedway and do the same. But honestly, I sucked there last year. But yeah, I mean, the East-West shootout there is going to be pretty gnarly. But I mean, I want to do it in a regular Supercross. That way, it's not just a speedway.
Awesome job. Thanks, man.
Billy with Direct Motocross.
Hey, thanks, Daniel. Hey, this is for Jet. Hey, Jet, just maybe talk about that white flag incident where obviously you thought it was a checkered, but then coming back to it, when you finished, was that the flagger that you went back to and hugged afterwards that was waving you on?
Yes. That was definitely not one of my brightest moments, you could say. Yeah, I thought I was finished, and then, I mean, I look at the flag guy, I'm like, man, he's looking a little aggro for right now. I'm like, yelling at me, and he's waving his arms, waving the flag, like, go, go, go. I'm like, I look back, I see Styles laying the finish line, just dump the clutch. I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, come on, get going, get going, get going. So, I mean, wasn't my brightest moment, you could say. And then, yeah, after the race, I went up to the 2 guys and I'm like, who's the one who was telling me to go? Because that saved my life tonight. So I kind of screwed some of the guys in the qualifying because we were a slower time. So that's my bad, I could say. But I did give the guy, one of the flaggies who was waving, telling me to get my arms going. I gave him a hug and said thanks to him.
Nice. Well, I think I got it on video, so I wanted to make sure I had the story straight. Congratulations. Thanks.
Thanks, mate.
Jamie, Moto X Pod.
Hey, Styles, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is a contract year for you. Does that have any effect? Does that play in your mind at all each round, as you go on and kind of looking for different results?
Yeah, obviously you think about it, but you try to put it in the back of your head, but it's always there. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that's there, but you just try not to think about it and just try to go out there and ride your dirt bike. And like I said earlier, I'm just honestly in a good headspace right now. Just Mike Brown and Eldon and everyone just kind of, just go ride your motorcycle. And even Nate, our new team manager, it's kind of a work in progress with him. And he's been awesome so far. Just, believe in yourself. And he was out at Eldon's this week, and he's like, dude, you have the speed. Just, you need to believe in yourself and just take it step by step. And honestly, I'm just enjoying it. It's been a lot more fun this year, and yeah, obviously it's a contract year, but not worried about it. Just trying to have fun.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Brad Gephardt.
Thanks, DB. Let's stick with Styles. Styles, how does a guy from Bakersfield, California become a Daytona specialista?
I don't know. Grew up on hard pack, gravel, and I don't know. I guess just being in Florida helps. Our place is pretty sandy. I don't know. I think just riding sketchy tracks growing up helps a little bit because, dude, for one, the lighting here, I don't know about you, but the lighting for me is pretty sketchy. Like, it's not as good as it looks. And the lips get chewed up, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe that helps just riding the hills. But no, I mean, if I have the choice, west or east next year, I'm coming east so I can race Daytona again. I need that top spot. Dang it.
There you go. All the kids now are going to go look for the sketchiest track possible to go get their skill sharpened. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, this one's for Cameron. What did you think about the split lane? Obviously, when you were battling with Pierce Brown and RJ, you guys were all going, all different lines. What did you think about the split lane, and what was your mentality? I guess, did it change lap to lap, or what was your thoughts on it?
Honestly, I was pretty surprised at how equal it was. I think going inside outside might have been I don't even think it would have been 1/10 faster. It was maybe a tad bit, but it was just all about how you hit it. And I was just trying to go opposite of whatever they were doing because I was I can't follow these guys. I knew I was faster in the whoops, but if I got up next to them in the whoops on the right side of them, they were going to guard me on the, the going inside outside. So I knew I had to get all the way next to someone on the right to make it happen. But yeah, I was going everywhere. I think I probably did the opposite side of each of those, every other lap it seemed like. And then you come over the tunnel and you're right next to each other. But it was a good split lane when you make one. Usually it's pretty hard for the track crew to make the split lanes super equal. And I felt like it was as equal as it could have been.
Awesome, thanks.
Last one, Nick, Moto Limited.
Thanks, DB. Let's keep with Cameron McAdoo, sorry. Cameron, you obviously have a lot of pressure on yourself to perform, but with Monster Energy Pro Sega Kawasaki, you potentially being the last rider on the team, is there some sort of, more team effort on you as well to go out there perform, or is it a little bit more, is it something you notice a little bit more being the only guy under the tent, or is it just normal day?
That's part of my fault, sorry.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a lot different when it's, our coach started, it was supposed to be 3 guys, three riders in the locker, 3, mechanics, 3 bikes. It's a lot different, but at the same time, I kind of, we have the same goal in mind, and my goal has been to go fight for wins and fight up front and do my best. I don't, the team doesn't put any sort of a different pressure on me. I think if anything, I put the pressure on myself of winning and having some success. So, it's whether we have a full team or not, I'm going to go do my best to show out for our team and to do, get the results that the whole team has worked for. So, yeah, it's definitely a different vibe. But, I'm just out here to do my best and to give everyone what they've worked for, like I said.
Absolutely. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Yep, thanks.
You boys okay?
Yeah.
Okay. They're all good. All right, guys. Thanks. Jet, congratulations. Styles, Cameron, we'll see you in Detroit.
Thank you.